don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past and the pettiness.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Astrology for Mystics with Jenn. Sorry, I kept pushing the live up because I'm in the rabbit hole, guys. I'm in the rabbit hole. So I got to looking at Nancy Guthrie's public records again, and I found that she has an email address on public records that goes to a law firm, and she also has a past address. A couple of them. And this whole time, I'm thinking that she raised her kids and has lived at this same address for years. So if that's the case, where'd these other addresses come in? Like, where'd they come into play? Did she buy them and she rent them? Like, I'm so confused. I'm so confused today as to what it is. And I want to show you. I want to show you guys on the map. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Check this out. I want to show you, like, because I'm totally in the rabbit hole. I'm just going to go ahead and share my whole screen because I know I'm going to be jumping back and forth. Okay, so watch this. Okay, so I'm not going to show the public records because sometimes it'll be like, it'll push me out. And I'll have to delete it. So this 5920, right? She lives at 5820. This is her address right here, 5820. And we've got, hold on. I think it's 5820, isn't it? Nancy Guthrie. Making sure, hold on. Address, and yeah, 5820. Okay, so if she has lived at this address, 5820, for all this time, okay, then we have an address over here that is on public records. Why is it that this is showing up as a past address? And because it's really calling on me because, of course, we've got to look at the lines and see what they're saying, right? So natal Mercury in Aquarius, which is about the networking, the online networking, like I'm doing right now, it squares Uranus in Taurus. So as you know, she is going through a Uranus return. Every 84 years, if you live long enough, you're going to go through a Uranus return, right? So if we go through this Uranus return, it shakes you up. There's things that come about, and hers is in Taurus. So it's about money, it's about possessions, it's about things that you own, things that you possess, it's about your values. Okay, so this is tripping me out. If she has, and I've got another address for her too in California, and I just don't understand. So if she's lived here and she's raised her kids all this time, grew up in Kentucky, raised her kids here all this time, why does she have an address in California? Why does she have a past address that's on the same street at 5920? And I found two previous owners of 5920. Was she renting it for, a certain period of time, or what is this? I don't get it. So if anybody knows the answer to this, please leave it in the comments because I need to know what's up. If you look at the public records, she's got a 5920 El Camino Escalante. So that's where we're at. That's where we're at right here. Right here. So this is where she is being shaken up. Okay. This is where she's being shaken up. Right here. Let me make sure I got it on the right thing. No, I don't. Hold on. Okay. She's being shaken up right here. This is the Uranus return. Here is the missing event. It says missing Neptune in Aries, sextiles Uranus and Taurus. So not only was she going through a Uranus and Taurus return, but Uranus is still in Taurus. So it's still shaking her up. It's not like, guys, when you go through like a Uranus return, a Chiron return, a Saturn return in astrology, it's not like, look, let me talk to you. It's not like you're just going to go through it that day. Okay. It's not like, okay, we're going to wait for this day. And on this day, at this time, this is when it comes and then it's over. Yay. And I can breathe a sigh of relief. We're doing good. No, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Let me tell you something. She is still going through a Uranus return. Tomasso is going through a Chiron return right now. Okay. Okay. So we have two major happenings in the family, two major happenings. And I'm not accusing anybody of anything. Please know this. I'm not accusing anybody of anything. All I'm doing is just talking this out with you guys. That's it. But if she's going through a Uranus return, he's going through a Chiron return. Let's see. Let's go back to the map. There's Tomasso. Okay, so he's been here before. There is a south node. That means we've been here before. From Nancy's house to here, we've been here before. With things that we own, things that we possess, values, okay? Here is the missing Sedna that is conjunct Admetos in Gemini. Now we're getting into Gemini. Now we're getting into two. Now we're getting into communications. And wait till you see how this is going to work itself out. Watch this, guys. Hey, you want to stay tuned right here, right now. There's a breakup with communications. It would have to do with Bitcoin, media, any type of communications. So we have the natal Uranus, we got the missing Uranus, we got Tomasso, we got the missing Sedna and the Mitos. There's a breakup that's taking place here with two people with communications. Now we have Annie. Now we're bringing Annie in. Hygeia is about world health. It's about the purity of world health. And Chronos, there is a timing here. Chronos in Gemini, there is a timing. It says health surrounding two people, communications with Bitcoin is all about the timing with this conjunction. Okay. We're going to look at her chart. Don't worry. Here's the FBI. Now, this is where the FBI is having an intense experience, guys. They have an intense experience, and it's taking place with two people, at least two. And again, we're talking about communications. Communications. All right. So this 5920, let me show you who has owned this property in the past. In the past. I don't know who exactly owns it now, because you know how public records be. But the two people that I have found that go to this property, past owners, because I'm not showing her as an owner as of February 3, January 10, 003. I'm assuming that this is 2010. Okay. Maybe she rented it. Maybe she owned it way before I don't know. I don't know. But in public records, it shows that that's one of her past addresses. You can Google it right now if you want to. So we've got Mara A. Daly. So we've got Mara Andrea Daly. And then we've got Brooke Pergan. But Brooke, I can't find anything on her. Okay. I cannot find anything on her other than her birthday. I found both of their birthdays. And, as an astrologer, that's what we really want. We really want that. But at the same time, it would be nice to know what she does for a living and who she is associated with. Okay. This is not to be confused with Luke Daly. Luke Daly's last name is a Daley. Her last name is a Dally. So we don't want to confuse the two. All right. Don't want to confuse the two. Don't be like, oh my God. No, it has nothing to do with Luke. Not that I know of. The last name is spelt differently. Okay. Now, Brock, this is where I'm really interested because I did find something on him. Okay. I did find something on him. He died in 2015. He was born May 10th, 1926 in San Francisco. So I don't know if his family still owns this property. I don't know if his family still owns this property and they are just renting it out to Mary Daly and her family, or if Mary Daly actually owns it because I don't have access to the tax records for property ownership. And if you guys can find it, no doubt, let me know. Let me know, okay? Because this is just homes.com. This isn't really telling me, but it kind of does tell me that she's got a loan through First American Title. So I'm going to assume that these two have owned the property in the past and that Mara owns it now. But what's interesting is Brooke, because these neighbors, her neighbors are not just, regular old neighbors like, you and I would have. Like these are people that are prominent. Like this guy. His name is actually Edwin Kurgan Brooke. And Edwin Brooke could be somewhat related to Mara. So it could be like a family thing. Okay. It could be a family thing. And I want to say that that's kind of what I found, but I was going so quick trying to get this live going, but I'm not sure. I can't remember now. But check this out. So Edwin, who died in 2015, and you're going to be like, why are you even talking about him? You're going to see why. He graduated from UC Berkeley in 1951 with a civil engineering degree. And he worked at Bechtel Corporation for over 25 years and had the good fortune to live and work in countries all over the world like South Africa, Australia, England. He was a World War II veteran, avid sailor, photographer or photographer, clay target shooter. So if he's a target shooter, I bet I know where he liked to shoot at in Tucson, Arizona, right there by the old you know, place that Kayla was hanging upside down. Yeah, he probably loved to shoot there. But anyway, he loved compiling genealogical research. And he was a member of the Society of California Pioneers. So this is a big, he's kind of a big guy. He's kind of a big guy. And I want to show you what this corporation is all about, what he actually did for the corporation. So here is the corporation right here, and it's in Reston, Virginia. So its headquarters in Reston, Virginia. And now look what he was a part of. Look what he was a part of. He was a part of global operations, including projects with defense, nuclear power, and civil infrastructure. Let's keep on going. Let's keep on going here because we want to see what else it is that they do. Let's just go on to the projects that they do. It's all about the energy mining. So it's almost like mining, nuclear, defense. That's really what Arizona seems like it's all about, especially in this neighborhood, because it's like everybody that lives there is involved in some type of mining, energy, defense, security, nuclear. It's like a theme. It's a theme there. Let's see what else it says. Bechtel. Because this is what this company is also doing now is with cyber. It's with cybersecurity as well, which I find very interesting considering. They had a pipeline in Venezuela, Lebanon, Syria, Saudi Arabia. So this company is also in the Middle East. Also in the Middle East. I just thought that that was interesting because that's where she has an old address. And like I said, I can't find anything for Mara. But I tell you what I did find, what else I found. What else I found was I found the obituaries for Nancy Guthrie's parents. So her parents are their last name is Long. So her dad was Pierce Long, her mother was Margaret Long, but Margaret's maiden name was McDermott. So I found these, relatives. I put them on the map, thought that that was interesting, found their birthdays, put their birthdays in my database. Also, Mr. Brugg, I put his birthday. And of course, I haven't found, I'm looking for his kids too to see because these people, Edwin would have lived there when she lived there. She would have known Mr. Brugg. Maybe her husband knew Mr. Brugg. Maybe they were friends. All I know is this: she has a past address here too. And it does make me wonder about anybody that used to live here or that lives here that knew Nancy and their family or any type of associates. So that's what I'm working on today. That's what I'll be working on. Let me show you something else that I thought that was very interesting. I want to pull up her friends. So one of her friends was in transit this morning. This morning, the astrology, let me show you the astrology. Let me pull it up this morning because I've went through all kinds of where's transits. Where's transits this morning? Dang, I've been doing a lot of work here. Okay. So this morning, here's the transits. This is why I put it out that I wanted to go live and notified with a thumbnail. This is why it's because I was watching this period of time. I was watching this period of time to see who would show up, if anybody would show up, because the 1720 was in transit in retrograde. This Jupiter was in transit in Cancer at a 1720, and it was in retrograde when she went missing. It's no longer in retrograde. Now it's going forward. What does this mean? This means that when she went missing, Jupiter was expanding home. Jupiter, the law. Jupiter, home. Genealogy. Loans. Debt. Anything having to do with the home. It was expanding. There was an expansion here. But it was in retrograde, so it was about things of the past. But now we're moving forward. Now Jupiter is no longer in retrograde. Now we're moving forward. We're pushing forward. This 1720 is also found in two charts. Kayla Day, Luke Daly's friend Kayla, who's locked up, and also Annie Guthrie, her Hades that weighs her down with home, with family, with mom, that expansion with it could be, about assets, but that 17 degree, that Hades degree that she has on Nancy's map would be right here. This is where it was expanding, going right here, right through here. This is where there's a lot of weight on Annie that is going this way. Okay. So just letting you know that the Jupiter in Cancer, we were expanding home. We were traveling, possibly traveling. We were right here. This is the Jupiter in Cancer. Well, let's go ahead and turn on the addresses so we don't miss anything because I want you to see something. So this is the Jupiter in Cancer. It's going this way. It's right by Nancy Grace interviewed Jeff about his dogs or what have you. Remember? All right, so that's the Jupiter. There was a lot of weight with Annie. And of course, there was a lot of things going on with Kayla Day during this period of time, too. So if we look at Mr. Edwin, we can look at him. We can look at Mara because I do have their birthdays, but let's wait just a second. Let's look at some friends here. So we got the Taco Bell cups, vacant home. Okay. Let's look at the friends. Let me turn the addresses off one more time. Hold on. Because I got too much shit on here. Let's look at the friends. Because one of the friends is in transit. Okay. One of the transits, one of the friends is in transit. Okay, so here is Clarence. It seems like if I've got the right Mara Daly, here is one of her relatives, one of his addresses, one of his past addresses. And that is on a line with William Hubie, the absconder, Kayla Day's boyfriend. And I've got end time evidence is found. Intense transformation with health with the FBI. Lots of intensity here. Old address for Mara Daly. Here we have another old address for her. I'm just like, I've been like really working it, guys. Here's Mary Ann. So this is this is one of her friends, Mary Ann. This is where she lives. This is where the FBI reaches their north node with a lot of value that they find with home and family. So it could be, we could be looking at Mary Ann's family. This is Vicky Edwards. This is the church friend. Same conjunction. So it could be, here's Nanos. This is where he reaches his north node. It's fated with Vicky. He has a fate. Nanos has a fate with Vicky. And this was her church friend, right? Her online church friend during the missing event. This is where all the attention is going. And of course, it goes all the way to where Maxwell is held, goes to Saudi Arabia. Here's another address that I have for Vicky. And this is the moon for the FBI. So the FBI reflects here with the communications, with things that Vicky may have said to the media. This is where the FBI connects here with her, with the media. So anything that she would have said to the media, the FBI may come back and go, okay, remember when you said this? Okay. Here is the missing Jupiter. Now we're getting somewhere. So the missing Jupiter that is now pushing forward, that connects to Annie and Kayla Day, is also coming here. Right by Vicky's home. It's about court documents, weight of home, with family, with real estate, and it connects to Tomas and Annie. So it could be some things that Vicky talks about with the family, right? Because she does. She's like, y'all need to leave them alone. I think that's what she said. Something like that. Where's the family? Hold on, let me turn off some of this stuff. Where's the other friend? Nancy's friend. Hold on, where's Ann? I want to show you Ann because this is where I'm getting Burnson. Okay. So I've got an address for Ann Burnson. This is where these are the friends that saw Nancy on her birthday. Okay. So we have the missing moon in Leo. Why is the moon reflecting here in Leo? and it's in a good standing with Saturn and Pisces. Well, it's because there's something about healthcare. There is something about healthcare, and we are reflecting here during the missing event. Could it be that we are reflecting on Anne or her children? Because Anne does have children, and I'm going to show you where they live. Not like the address, but I'm going to show you roundabout where they live. The FBI, this is where they show up and show out, but they have a lot of work to do. They got a lot of work to do when it comes to children, when it comes to publicity. They have a lot of work to do. They can show up and show out, but they're just going to have to work hard. Here is Annie. Annie, this is where she has a lot of disordered aggression. Slows her down, especially with authority. Here is where Nancy has her Pluto in Leo. There's a lot of deep transformation that is going here. Let me turn on the address, make sure there's nothing else there. Okay, there's not. Let me show you where Anne's kids live. Right here. Right here in San Antonio. Right here in San Antonio. There is a Texas connection, okay? Texas and New Mexico have a degree in their chart in which Tomasso, Ann Burnson, and Nancy Guthrie have in their natal chart no matter what time they are born. Because let me tell you something, when you are born, the connections that you are going to make in life are there, okay? They're just there. That's how beautiful this life is how magical it is because look, when Anne was born, let's pull up Anne. And I'm going to show you Anne next to her friend. Let me show you. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I can show you better than I can tell you. Anne and her friend, Nancy. Where you at, Nance? Where you at? There she is. Okay. Let me show you something. Let me pull up my pen. Hopefully it'll work. Okay. Anne is born August 30th, 1959. Nancy, born January 27th, 1942. This right here is important, okay? With Nancy, she has a 628 with Poseidon. Okay, watch this. She has a 628 degree in Libra with Poseidon. This 628. Now watch this. Anne has a 628 also in Libra, but hers is with Cupid. So we have wisdom, desires. Okay, so we have wisdom and desires. That's a 628. Okay, now watch this. Watch this, guys. You don't want to miss this. Watch. The transits this morning, when this Jupiter came to the 1720, no longer in retrograde now, we're moving forward, right? Watch this. The lunar nodes of fate are at a 628 at the exact moment that this takes place. 628. This is bringing Anne with the fate. It's bringing Nancy with fate, but we're not done. We're not done. Not done. We are also bringing in the leadership, the transformation with Tomasso, with the fate. With this is also, look, Libra is also about contracts. It's about insurance. It's about the law. We're signing on the dotted line, okay? We're signing on the dotted line. There is a reason why. There's a reason why that Ann, Tomasso, and Nancy are connecting with Texas. And let me show you why. Texas, when we pull up Texas and New Mexico's chart, let me show you. Because like I said, I can show you better than I can tell you. And this is the reason why I've been waiting to see what today is going to entail. Okay? What could it show us? So if we look at Texas and New Mexico, we see that Texas has a 628 in their chart, okay? 628. So it's on their third house, outer wheel. It's about the communications with groups. It's about the law and immigration with Texas, and possibly lots of attention or even children. Lots of attention here. That's Texas. Now, New Mexico receives information. So they are always receiving information with the 628. And it has to do with health, the healthcare, the government, and they're receiving information all the time about things of the past. And I promise you, this can also be about Epstein. Okay. So there's an Epstein flare here. The other thing that I want you to take notice is the connection that Texas and New Mexico have isn't just this 628 degree. It's not just that. They have another connection that's prominent in the Nancy Guthrie case for me as an astrologer. And this is it. Chiron, the things of the past with Chiron, with the 337, is where Texas has a devouring energy, also in Pisces. So again, we're looking at a healthcare type of axis. We're looking at past prisons, past hospitals, past things of the past that New Mexico deals with Texas. Who's in Texas? Ghislaine Maxwell. Right. Ah, good thinking, guys. You're right. That's exactly right. So let's go back. Let me turn these addresses off. So this is where there's an email that is going to San Antonio right here. I saw that on this girl's X this morning. And she's replying to JLR. This Amanda Wilson is saying that Nancy has had the same email address since 2004, yet a person in Texas became associated with that email starting in February 2026. And that email is going to San Antonio, Texas. And I was like, what? Because I know some people that live in, I mean, I don't know them, but like I know that, you know, Ann's kiddos go here. Oh, but guess what? Guess what? We've got a Mark that's a family member. Mark, that's a family member. He is also right there at Randolph Air Force Base in Texas, right there by San Antonio. Right there. And of course, right there, well, that's where Ann Burnson's kids live. They're adult kids. They're not little kids. Okay. They're not little. And I can't find any information on them. I can't find their birthday or anything. They've got their public record scrubbed pretty much. And this is by Uvalde. Right by Uvalde. It's by Somerset, San Antonio, Texas. Okay. And of course, this is also where the Jupiter is going, guys. The Jupiter is going all the way past Ann's house, all the way to her kids. Huh, I can't make it up. I'm not saying that her kids have anything to do with it. I'm just showing you what I found. And the other things that I have found is that in some of the if we were to say that people were paid off, that there were ex-convicts that were paid off, like an absconder, like William Hubie, that's definitely possible because he also connects to Texas and New Mexico with Annie and Tomasso and all this crew. But it's interesting that Mark, a family member that's on the public records of Savannah and Annie and Nancy, Mark, he is also with the military. They have a lot of family and extended family members that are within the military spectrum. And that's the reason why I think I see so much military is because they do. They are. And Nancy didn't hang out. Her friends weren't just, like, our friends. I mean, her friends were definitely let's see what else we got here. I also saw this where Cameron and Nancy used to live. I don't understand how Cameron and Nancy lived here in Virginia in 2002 or 2010 when she allegedly has lived at that property all these years. I'm so confused why we are finding these other properties unless I just don't know. But here's the missing Hygeia in Gemini. It's about two, it's about communications. We're going to Spain, we're going to Italy. We're going all the way to Italy with this. Italy and Romania. We know that Savannah was going to go to Italy. We know that Tomas is from Italy. It kind of weirds me out. One of the other family members is works for Orica LLC. I don't know if Ralph is still alive or not. This is one of the family members and Orica. Let me see if I still have that up. In Florida. Here it is. But I thought that this was also interesting because look, this is about data. It's about data solutions, quantum technology, connected data solutions, all about the data. I also put in that address for the 5920 for Nancy, and this came up. I was like, what is these people coming up? This Refresh Calvary. Refresh Calvary, okay. Refresh Calvary. That's in Surprise, Arizona. It wasn't a hit on the map. But I thought that this was odd because this guy Matt shared in February of 2026 all of Nancy and Savannah and all of their deeds and everything, even the past address of 5920. 5920. Why in the world would she have lived in California or on 5920 Camino right down the road when she allegedly has lived in this property for all these years? I'm just not getting it. And then I saw on her public records where Nancy has this email address, drsorge.sorgelaw8 at yahoo.com. And so when you Google it, right, when you Google it, it goes to a law firm that is permanently closed. Permanently closed. Watch this. This is the email address it's going to. Oh, I can't show this. Hold on. I can't show that because I can't dox him. But it's going to Aaron Sorge, Robert Sorge. And this is where it gets really interesting for me too, because watch this. I've been looking for a connection with Annie to Indiana. Here is a law firm in Indiana, which is permanently closed. The law office of Robert H. Sorge in Hammond, Indiana. Watch. Okay, so in Hammond, Indiana, this is it. There it is. So remember all of those addresses. I mean, all of those lines that were going over that property, that 5920, they're coming out here. They're all coming out here toward Milwaukee, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, right here over this property in Indiana. And well, there's Annie. There's Annie. I was wondering why she would connect to Indiana. Let me show you why. Let me show you why. It's because Annie and Indiana have a certain connection. And if I could talk to Annie, I would ask her and she would tell me, maybe. No matter what time she's born, she has a 1415. It's trans Pluto. There's a lot of transformation that takes place with the public eye. And the 1415 is where Indiana has their midheaven and their IC. So we have a connection here with home, family, and work or a business. What this law firm does is they are a tenant attorney. So, say if she was renting out the property or if she was renting a property, she may use a law firm. But why one in Indiana? Makes absolutely zero sense. Why Public Records is associating her other email on public records with this law firm that is, like I said, it's permanently closed. But it does make sense. Okay. It would make sense because this law firm, 36 years, landlord and tenant lawyer, born and raised in Indiana, insurance defense firm in Chicago, Illinois. So he represents people in Illinois as well. It's about, the landlord, eviction, the eviction process, things of that nature. Criminal. He's even a criminal attorney. Any type, he does wills, estates, and I don't know if he is, still practicing, if any of his, other people that were working in the firm are still practicing. His son Aaron was in the practice as well. So I don't know, guys. I just thought that that was very interesting because the email is going to an Indiana law firm. And that email, like I said, somebody else found it too 2 weeks ago. Somebody says, how come the email shows her name when you Google it? And Nancy Guthrie. Based on search results, the email is linked to Nancy Guthrie in public search, and it is. It is. I'm not going to show it to you because it'll kick me off. It's like a doxing, but you can see it right here. She's got two email addresses. She's got the Nancy Guthrie at University of Arizona, and then she's got this one. She's got this one, but it goes to it says Dr. Sorge.sorgelaw8 at yahoo.com. We got a Dr. Sorge in Utah, but it's not pulling him up with that email. It is pulling Robert Sorge up. You see? It's in his public records too. So if it's in his public records and if it's in Nancy's public records, then I'm wondering if this has to do with this Indiana connection that Annie could have. I'll let you, y'all, y'all can let me know what you think. But there it is again in the true people search. I don't know, guys. I don't know. But I thought that it was very interesting. And of course, I pulled him and his son Aaron up, looking at them, looking at the astrology of them. We can see that. Let me tell you something. On May 13th, I think it's May 13th, this is when I see a culminating of this that I'm talking to you about. This law firm, okay? There is going to be more come out with the connections with Texas and New Mexico. And the reason why I say that, because this law firm, the people, Aaron and Robert, they have a Hades. I mean, they have a 1417 in their chart. This is where Hades is coming, and it's about things of the past. This is going to be Wednesday morning, May 13th. Write it down. Please, please don't forget. Write it down, guys. Put it on your calendar, May 13th. There's something going to be taking place with Nancy's case with this law firm. I can see the FBI with Mercury here in the 10th house. I can see that this law firm is him and his son is going to be in transit holding the collective weight of home. But look what else we see. We see the 337 that New Mexico and Texas share. I'm sure other states have it. I'm sure. But New Mexico and Texas are showing up. I have another case that I'm looking at with this as well. And it's missing Sebastian Rogers. I see him in this chart too. All day, every day. And this 337, again, I'm going to look and make sure, but the two states that I'm definitely seeing that are showing up on May 13th with these attorneys, the dad and the son, that's permanently closed, is going to be coming into transit with these two states. And I would say also with Mike Feldman, there is some there this if it seems like this case is going really, really deep into the contracts. There's a contract here. And so what we're going to see is the 337. Okay, we got that. Now I want to get the nodes of fate that is going to be over Savannah Guthrie. So May 13th and May 14th. We're going to see it right here. May 13th and May 14th. We're going to hear more about Savannah and her mother. More of this stuff. Definitely. Definitely. Savannah is going to be holding the fate. And as she holds the fate, her, the Virgin Islands, Alan Dershowitz, Dominic, they're going to be coming back into transit with Savannah on this day on May 14th. We got to wait. I mean, I get it. We got a whole another month. There's going to be other things that are, I'm sure, going to come out, other things that are going to be taking place, other things that are going to be happening. But May 13th and May 14th are going to be, it should be days that we're going to be coming back to what I'm telling you right now, what I've told you today, what I've shown you on the map with these certain places, these certain people. The other thing that I know that is taking place today, hold on, let me go back. Turn off these addresses. At this right here, this is just wild. It's wild. Ann Burnson. That just blows my mind. It's gotta be because look, there's no way, absolutely 0 chance that this look, it took 3 days, 3 entire days for a ransom to come in. Guys, the ransom, 3 days. You kidnap somebody and you're gonna want some money, you're gonna put the ransom in really quick, like within 24 hours. You're gonna do it quick. Rumor is Nancy had a male friend in Santa Fe. Mm, maybe she did. I don't know if Annie dabbled in real estate. I have no idea. Yeah, write it down. May 13th and the 14th, guys. Write it down. It is. It is. I mean, and they could be losing interest. No, the ransom didn't come with it, it came 3 days later. 3 days later. Yeah, 3 days later. It came on February 3rd. I've got the timestamp and everything. I've looked at it. I've showed it on here. So the first ransom came in on February 3rd. You want a ransom. This is not a yeah, I went to the local station. That's right. On February 3rd in California. It sure did. And the first one I've got it. I've got it. So the first ransom came what day for Nancy Guthrie? Because they say that the first 2, right? They're saying that the first 2 are the ones that were are the ones are the ones. So the first ransom note in Nancy Guthrie case was received by media outlets TMZ on Tuesday, February 3rd, 2026. The note appeared only 2 days after she was reported missing on February 1st. So she was last seen on January 31st. Then it comes in on February 3rd. So I would consider that 3 days because she wasn't seen on the 1st, right? But anyway, I mean, look, within 24 hours, that's when they didn't want money. That's my point. My point is they didn't want money. This is not about money. Nancy's case is not about money. It's not about this is like a revenge or a type of fraud. You know? So could be co-signing. I don't know. Yep, she was born in Fort Wright. Got it on the map. I've got it on the map, guys. And that's where her parents that's where that's where they were all raised, her and Charles. Where they went to school is in Kentucky. So this right here, when we look at the TMZ, the ransom, I've got Tucson, Arizona instead of the because I didn't know at the time. But we do have a wake up call that's going to come to that 337 with Texas and with Arizona. And what I'm seeing here with the different now I've got new charts to look at, and these new charts are showing up in this ransom as well. which is wild to me, like totally wild that they're showing up. I don't know, guys. I just thought that it was interesting enough. I thought it was interesting enough to show you guys that this map, it's telling a story about Anne. And not only was Tomasso and Nancy in transit today with New Mexico and Texas, but so was Anne. And her kids live there. Her kids live in San Antonio. So you guys to wonder about it. You guys to wonder. You guys to wonder, "Hey, Minx, how you doing, honey? Good to see you. Haven't seen you in a hot minute." So yeah, so we are looking at other people, other family members, okay? So I've looked at and I've put Stanley and Ralph. I have put the other family members like Alexandra, Jonathan, and Justin. So let's look at Jonathan and Justin on the map because these are also family members, right? Let's look at Jonathan and Justin. So here is one address that I have for Justin, and this is in Massachusetts. There's a relative. There's the natal Jupiter in Gemini, but let's look and see what else we have here that is by this address that I've got for Justin. Let's see where Jonathan is. Oh, where's he showing up? Hold on. Okay, so he's over here. So we got Massachusetts. We've got Deborah. We've got Ann that used to live here. So Ann used to live here in California. We've got Deborah, who is the sister of no, she is the sister. I'm pretty sure that Deborah is a sister. She's a relative. She's like, either a sister of Annie, I mean, either a sister of Nancy or I'm pretty sure it's a sister of Nancy. Could be, let me go back. Nancy's sister. So this could be Nancy's sister. And this, I thought that this was interesting that William Hubie, the absconder, that convict that I've been talking about, that is, the boyfriend of Kayla Day, he goes right over her address, which I thought very interesting. And it is his world health conjunct Mars, and it's about online networking groups, somebody that he would know with Deborah. I don't know. The natal, the natal dark moon is in a good standing with how she shines. So she shines. Nancy Guthrie shines going this way in Aquarius with groups and with networking. This is where she shines going this way. So this is where Justin, his mother, here's a past address for Mara Daly. Thought that this was interesting as well because she has a past address that is on the Venus and Mercury in Aquarius. New moon on 217 and 218 will highlight this area with groups and networking, which we didn't see, but it could have. Could have been one of those. I don't know, guys. I'm working it though. I'm working it. Even if I'm working by myself, I'm working it. And I just wanted to show you. I wanted to show you everything that I found today as we are looking at this Jupiter going forward. It's wild. It is international. Yes. Yep. Yep. I've got it. I've got all the lines that go out to the to Italy, to the different bases, goes to the UK. Investigators are using next generation sequencing to separate the DNA of the victim from the DNA of the suspect. Well, the other people that are in transit today is Mike Feldman. Like he is holding a transformational, and he could definitely, this is a trip because he could also be connected to Anne and Anne's kids. Like they all know each other, evidently. I looked into that base you mentioned, and oh man, what base? Which one? Which base? If family members like the daughter or son are leaving work or being moved, it's because the FBI military now believes the suspect's DNA might belong to someone who has legitimate access. Okay, you want to see Fort Huachuca? Let's look at Fort Huachuca on the map. To military or government circles, meaning the threat is inside the house. Hmm. Hey, Kevin, good to see you, hun. It tripped me out that so if they're going to spend all this money looking at the DNA, trying to split it up, trying to figure it out, he's wearing a mask. He's got everything covered. If we're looking for hair fibers, wouldn't it be most likely that the hair fibers that they have collected are going to be from the family or people that they know? You know, it's, I don't know. I don't know. Let's look at Fort Huachuca here. Let's go. I've got all these new addresses. My gosh. Let's see. There's Fort Huachuca. And of course we see we've got the airport. This is oh lordy. Here's General Dynamics. Do you guys know where they're sending that DNA? But yeah, here's Fort Huachuca. It's definitely military. There's definitely a military, deep military, like a military operation. But I mean, look, that's what mostly Arizona is all about. I mean, it seems to me anyway. Seems like Arizona is a big time war machine of a state. Probably her dog that passed away. Yeah. No, it wasn't Quantico. It wasn't Quantico. It was something else. It was called like it started with an A. I can't remember. Like it almost sounds like Austria. Let me see if I can find it. Epstein's pilot has a daughter who has clearance there. Hmm. I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. Oh my god. Don't doubt it. Let's see. Let me see if it's Austria. Where is FBI sending hair DNA from Nancy? And it's like Astria or Austria or something like that. Let's see. Dang it. What lab? What lab? Because the only lab that I thought of was Quantico, but then let's see, where is FBI lab besides Quantico? Huntsville, Alabama? No, no way. Maybe it is Quantico. All right, so Quantico, Virginia. Let's go ahead and I'm pretty sure I've got that on the map, but I'm gonna put it there too. Turn on the addresses. Oh, the addresses are already there. Okay, let's look. Okay, so there it is. Intense transformation with health, communications, and other people's money. So this is the FBI line, and it is their Hygeia, and it's conjunct Pluto and Gemini. Now let me show you that. Let me show you that because I was talking about this yesterday. Okay, I was talking about this yesterday. Let me go ahead and save this, making sure I've saved it. I was talking about this yesterday. Let me show you why. Let me show you why. It's because let me show you with the FBI. Where's the FBI? Let me pull them up again. Let me show you something. This is what's very interesting about this line, and it's going to tell the story, no doubt about it. Now look, this Hygeia. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you what it says for my software. It says Hygeia is named for the goddess of health, a daughter of the Greek medicine god Asclepius. So she's about medicine. She's about a dis-ease. The word hygiene comes from her name, and the asteroid has a bearing on issues of cleanliness, health, well-being. Illness and dis-ease come under Hygeia and the healing process required for restoration to wholeness and harmony. This asteroid seems to act as a cleanser and potentizer, to borrow a useful word from homeopathy, and can activate transformative processes that produce a new, improved version. Concepts of purity, purification also seem to be very important with Hygeia, and it can help people to clean up their acts on many levels. With the FBI, it says you like to delve into the topic of health in order to understand the hidden currents. Death may hold a fascination. You may enter into joint ventures linked with health, sexual health. You're keen to gather knowledge on health, mental health, and the links between the mind, body may feature in your life. So this is Hygeia. Okay. This is what you're seeing with Quantico. This is the Quantico lab. We are looking for evidence right here. There's the evidence. Venus is about evidence. We are looking about evidence, and we are looking for two. We are looking at two. And this right here, this 1710, I spoke about yesterday, and I'm about to show you, but here it is. This is it. This is what you're seeing right here, right here. Intense transformation with health, communication, and other people's money. This is Hygeia, and it's conjunct Pluto. Major transformation with the 2512, 1710. Now, let's look at the transits right now. 2512. Okay, we're looking for a 2512. So this is going to have to come down to a 2512. Let's do that. Let's see if we can tell if we're going to get any type of information. And Jupiter has already come over the 1710, so we've already heard about that, right? Now watch this. 2512. All we got to do is just go back days because it's coming in May. There it is. May 11th. Okay, you write that down. Write that down. May 11th. So it's going to be in transit with the FBI on May 11th. All right. With this DNA, May 11th is going to be in transit. There's something that is going to be taking place with this energy. And let's go ahead and get Venus to the 1710 because there is going to be evidence with it. Let's look at it. Let's go days. There it is. That's on May 8th. I'm going to be looking at this. It's on May 8th. Now let me go back because I want to show you something. I want to show you Dominic's chart because Dominic and the FBI connect. They connect. I don't know what time he's born, but guys, no matter what time he's born, there's that 1710, honey, and the 1710 is definitely connecting him with health to the FBI. 1710. Let me show you something else. I don't know what time Mike Feldman was born, but I would say that there's probably a good chance that he was born after 12:30 a.m. And it's probably a good chance that he also connects to the FBI at a 1710. His Astraea with the sign of Aquarius. It's either a 1709 or it's a 1710. And he could definitely be connecting to the FBI as well. Just saying. I wouldn't just say only Dominic, but there could be a patsy here. Dominic could be the fall guy. I mean, it could be somebody else for all we know. You know, it doesn't. They could have a 1710 in their chart as well. But look, no matter what time Dominic is born, I mean, it's showing up pretty loud. And I would say that Mike Feldman probably has it too. I bet he does. I bet he was probably born around this time. Bet he was. Tell you one thing. Tell you one thing, guys. Look at this. This 401 that you see right here. It's been in transit for the last 48 hours. So since we learned about that DNA, since we've learned about it with the FBI, this right here has been in transit. It's like a clock, right? And it's just going to keep on ticking. It's going to come down to the 400, but it's been at a 401 for the past 48 hours. There is a major transformation with health that has taken place with Mike Feldman because Mike has this 401 no matter what time he's born. No matter what time he's born, he has it in his chart. Look this. No matter what time. There's a lot of emotional attention with Michael. He's like, what? What? They're sending it to Quantico. What? Yeah. Oh, yeah. No matter what time he's born. It's a 401. And that 401 actually connects to Missouri. Hey, there's an intense experience with Missouri with Mike Feldman and that connection. I can't make it up, guys. I can't make it up. So do y'all understand that the lab in Quantico that is going to connect to, no doubt, Dominic. The lab is called Estra. Thank you. Yes, thank you, Dinah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let's look at it. Hallelujah. Let's look at that. Let's look at that on the map. Estra. Let's look at that. Hold on. You don't understand. You do understand that there's a connection. You understand what a connection is. If I tell you that there's a connection with Mike Feldman the last 48 hours when this news came out, you understand that. You definitely understand that. It's in San Jose? No, he doesn't work for the FBI. No. No, 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 no. No, Mike Feldman doesn't work for the FBI. Oh, thank you, Dinah. Okay, so let me find the address for the lab called Estra. Let's look, guys. Estra. Oh, what am I doing here? Okay, Estra in San Jose, California. Hmm. Oh, Astera. No. Okay, we're not getting anywhere here. I'm not finding it, guys. I'm not finding it. What am I doing wrong here? What am I doing? Oh, nothing is gonna happen to him. LOL bird. Astera? Ah, let's see. Okay, so Astera, that's not it. That's not it. Estra. Okay, I'm gonna try this one more time. Estra. It's not coming up. ESTRA. Global Automotive Thermal. Manufactures vehicles. That's not it. No, that's not it. Where in the hell? Where is FBI sending DNA? AI. Oh, thank you, Dinah. Thank you, Dinah, for the $10, baby. Thank you so much. That is so sweet. The FBI has transferred a hair sample recovered from Nancy Guthrie to Quantico, Virginia. I mean, I've already Googled that, so I don't understand. It's not telling me any other thing. It says that the FBI has transferred a hair sample recovered from Nancy Guthrie's home to the FBI laboratory in Quantico. So that's not FBI analyzes new DNA case, confirms major DNA update. Yeah, I know that the CC Moore That's who was talking about, um, that's who was talking about it. But, I don't know. I'm not finding it, guys. I'm sorry, but I'm just not. So they no. While the FBI has multiple offices across California, its central FBI lab, the primary facility for forensic DNA and hair analysis, is not in California. It's a massive facility situated 2501 Investigation Way, Parkway, Quantico, Virginia. Media coverage, Los Angeles, case details, Orange County, but there is nothing. Look, okay, so I don't know what she was talking about, what CC Moore was talking about. I haven't been able to find any other lab. So if y'all can find the lab and y'all can give me the the deets on it with the address and that the FBI is definitely sending it there, I'm gonna put it on the map. But otherwise, we're looking at Quantico. So that's gonna go back to the 1710. Okay, that's gonna go back to Dominic and Mike Feldman. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. I'm sure that they're gonna try to pin it on an innocent person. I'm so with you on that, LOL Bird. I'm so with you on that. I'm so with you on that. Yeah, but, I'm not finding anything where the FBI is sending it to anywhere else. And Quantico definitely does hair. I don't know who was I don't know who was saying that they don't do hair. Quantico definitely does it all. Yeah, Mike has gotta be involved in some way. He's gotta be involved in some way. Okay, let's say he's not involved. The people that he is associated with are. The people that he is associated with are, and they're gonna try to blame it on somebody else. There's gonna be a fall guy. Yeah, including hair sent to FBI. And we know that the FBI lab is in Quantico. Let's see if we can find any other place. No, we're not. We're not finding it. Not finding it. Jeff, can you give me the address, babe? Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Let's see. Forensics. Well, for some reason, it ain't pulling shit on mine. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's put this on the map just in case this is where they're sending it to. Well, it doesn't show the address. Hold on. You put it in the chat? Oh, okay. All right, let's see. in Santa Cruz. Ah, okay. Let's look at this line, guys. There it is, Jeff. But this is not hmm, pain with work and attention with leadership, school, teacher, kids, attention angle that's intense and difficult. So Nanos, his Chiron in Capricorn. This is Nanos Chiron in Capricorn. But I don't know that this is where they're actually sending it. Okay. I don't know where CC Moore got her information, so I'm not going to say that that's where they're sending it to because everything is showing me that they're sending it to Quantico. Okay. That they're sending it to Quantico. So I don't know where she got that information, but this is definitely Chris Nanos. This is his line. This is a 27 Capricorn. Okay. So let's look at the FBI. Their line is right here. This is where their lowest point is. And this is where Nancy, this is where her the investigation is going. When you yeah. But what about the FBI with this one? Because it says that they're sending it to their lab. So I'm interested. And FBI. Let's see if it shows up here. Okay, here we go. Here's something that's saying could be a Hail Mary that FBI now has DNA evidence. And as the FBI looks at the evidence, a genealogist said that a rootless hair can absolutely make the case solvable. Oh shit! Now this website's got me stuck, like Chuck, like stuck. I hate it when that happens. Hold on, hold on, guys. Yeah, get out of that one. Okay, so I'm not going back to that one. Okay, so Dr. Green from here. Okay, so they're not I don't think that they're sending it here. I think that what we're seeing, what we're people are misconstruing is that in a high profile case, the DNA from rootless hair was processed by this investigation, this place. While the FBI also sought to analyze evidence from the same investigation. So maybe they've worked together before in the past from a cold case, from an old cold case. So maybe that's what it is. Because Dr. Green at Astria Forensics, and that's cool too. Look, Astria. Astria is one of Asclepius' daughters too. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool because Astria looks like a percentage sign. This is what Astria looks like. Let's just use his chart. It's that 1710 that's going to match the FBI. Astria. That's cool. So Astria is also one of Asclepius' daughters. She is the divine justice. She's the one that's outside of all of our buildings that's holding the justice, that's holding the scales. Okay. She is the shit when it comes to Astria is the shit. But anyway, let's see. Let's read more to see if that's where the hair DNA sent to FBI. So the Dr. Green is that's just who people may be, these places are interviewing as somebody from there. So we don't know for sure that's where the DNA sample is going to. FBI receives DNA extraction for rootless hair. Let's see. It's still saying it's transferred to Quantico. God dang. It's still saying that it's transferred from Quantico. So I think that what we're seeing here is the Dr. Green. This is the line that Dr. Green is pulling, and what she's pulling is his Chiron, that Chiron in Capricorn. That's what I'm thinking it is. And I'm thinking that what's going to happen is that this energy with Quantico is going to produce. It's going to produce, and it's going to they're probably going to blame it on somebody because the one that does connect is Dominic. No matter what. Dominic, and I know probably Michael does too. I mean, let's just face it. Michael's gonna probably have that 1710 there in the 4th house. So I'm gonna put him being born at 8:30 AM, and we'll have him being, opposing his Jupiter opposing me. Let's just do that. Let's just do that. Let's see. Oh, Michael. Michael and his connection with the Epstein clan. Ah, yeah, that's right. The Epstein clan. What was it? Oh gosh, 3 million documents had just dropped when his mother-in-law goes missing. Ah, wow, that is insane. That is insane to me. Federal sources claim they requested the evidence back in February, and the delay in transferring it to the FBI's Quantico lab may have cost the investigation critical time. I just don't trust the FBI. I just think that they're gonna blame it on somebody. They're all rubbing elbows with each other. You know what I'm saying? They're all just hanging out, rubbing elbows with each other, and I think that I just don't trust not near one of them. Not one of them. Yeah, I mean, those it's crazy. It's absolutely insane. The FBI expressed significant frustration that the hair sample was held at the Deerfield Beach facility for 11 weeks. Yeah, let's look at that on the I just heard they're trying to get the Weiner laptop released now. It ties to the Epstein files. Hillary is shaken. Girl, let me tell you something. Let me show you. Okay, so this is going to be I need to just do like a date. Like, this is the day that I'm seeing this, this, and this. Okay, watch this. I'm seeing this right here. I'm seeing that they are going to have Mike Feldman and let me see. So there's going to be a wait on Annie on the 10th with Indiana. A wait on Annie and Indiana on May 10th. There's going to be a huge wait that is going to come over Mike Feldman and the Clintons on April 24th and April 25th. April 24th, April 25th. Those are the 2 days that there's going to be a huge wait over both Mike Feldman and the Clintons. Mark it on your calendar. You'll see it. You'll hear it. We'll be talking about it. Let's go ahead and save that one. I've got all kinds of them saved. And you see these 29 degrees, the 2953. with Palace, the investigator, the 2959 with the shakeup with Uranus, that is coming to Mike Feldman. There's a lot that is going on with Mike, but it's not just with Mike, it's with the Epstein clan. Also, we're seeing Iran here. We're seeing Alan Dershowitz. Oh, yeah. We're seeing Arizona because they're all connecting. They're all connecting there. Oh, Buzz. Huh?
They're all connecting here
They are connecting.
because they all ordered Amazon Prime.
And this is the same period of time that
Period.
what's his face? Tomasso's going to have a Chiron return. This is when it's coming. Period. Point blank period. Yeah, people are shaking in their boots.
Oh, the right word.
They're all evil. Yes, Seth. What'd you bring to eat?
What did I bring you to eat?
I hope it's jalapenos.
Nope.
Dang it.
All right, she told me I didn't bring jalapenos. I'm gonna leave.
Is there anyone not connected? Well, I think that there are people that when we look at it from a, from a different just the different angles, I don't know that I feel like that they're looking for because when Nancy goes missing, it took days for the media to be talking it up. The media was talking it up about a possible ransom coming in. Then the ransom came in without a proof of life. This has nothing to do this case has nothing to do with money. They didn't steal anything. You know what I'm saying? They didn't burglarize. Usually a burglary is going to take place during the day when the person's not at home, not in the middle of the night, getting the elderly woman up out of bed, trying to kidnap her. This was a statement. This was a warning. This is somebody saying, hey, I'm getting revenge. You know, you got a high profile person, Savannah Guthrie, her husband, Mike Feldman, Larry Summers. The Epstein files have Larry Summers all in them. You know, you got Harvard, you got all of these attorneys that are scrambling around. You got people trying to save their ass. And that's why Nancy was taken. That's why she was taken. There's nothing else makes any sense. This isn't, oh, I was going to take her to get a ransom in the middle of the night, but she didn't make it, so I can't get the ransom because I can't say that she's alive. The ransom didn't even come in until 2 days later. That's not the way ransoms work. They actually contact the family. People that take and kidnap, they're gonna contact Savannah. They're gonna contact Savannah. She's the one that's got the money. They're gonna contact her. They're not gonna contact TMZ. They're not gonna contact you know what I'm saying? It just doesn't make any sense. That part does not make any sense whatsoever. So I don't think that it was a true ransom. I think that this is a revenge. You hurt me, now I'm gonna hurt you. You know what? We've got all of these drops. You're not gonna be covering it. You're gonna be looking for your mom. You're not gonna be going to Italy. You're gonna be looking for your mom. Point. Period. Like, I can't think of anything else that makes sense. That's the only thing that makes sense. Exactly. It's like sending it to the Inquirer. I mean, God. Oh my gosh, makes no sense. But what does make sense is that this is all about the Epstein case and people trying to scramble. You got attorneys, you got high profile billionaires, you got politicians, you got the Clintons, the freaking Clintons, man. And she's not even looking for her mom. Did not one of them go looking for Nancy. They didn't strap their boots on, not even Cameron Guthrie. You big military dude, you must know where she's at if you're not looking for her. Isn't that what we say about Katie Proudfoot? Chris Proudfoot? They're not looking for Sebastian, who's missing out of Hendersonville, Tennessee. Why? Because they must know where he's at. You don't look for what's not lost. If something is lost to you, you're going to look for it. If your shoe's missing, if you can't find your earrings, if you can't find this, you're going to look for it. Where's the search? Where did the family search for Nancy? Where'd they search? Nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. As a matter of fact, I'd love to know where they had big search teams, like search and rescue dogs and all these people that came out to help searching and canvassing the Catalina foothills. I didn't see not nobody. There really wasn't a big search for Nancy. I found that was odd. Yeah. Yeah, Georgia. Epstein files is, man, that's the big one. So Israeli ambassador, it's a full moon in Leo. So it's full. The moon is full in Leo, and the 3 million documents, they're dropping. They're dropping. There's millions. And this is about, child P. So the Leo full moon really makes it even that much more full. Like, whoa. Israel ambassador comes into town. The Clintons are supposed to be going to court. I mean, you got all of this happening. And she goes bye-bye. So what does that do? It distracts us all. We're still distracted. It distracts us all. And we're like, oh my God, where's Nancy Guthrie? We're not talking about the Epstein files. We're not looking through them. We are now, but we weren't at the time. It was distracting us. We weren't looking. We weren't talking about it. But Larry Summers was in there. It definitely distracted us. And that's what they love to do. They love to distract us. That's how they conquer. Confuse you, distract you, keep you dumbed down and confused. We're going to war, we're not going to war. We're going to war, we're not going to war. It's the straits open, it's not open. Now it's closed, now it's open. Just keep us all just straddling the fence. We don't know, or ask from a hole in ground. So that's the way it is. Yeah, sure did. Sure did. Sure did. Let me show you. Let me show you on the map where he visited. Let me show you. Let me show you. Because I know you want to see it. I know you want to see it. Let me go back up here. Let me take some of this crap off because I'll be hold on. Where's my addresses? Let's go to the Hebrew Academy. Now let me turn my address back on. Let me just do this. Hebrew. This is where he went to, right here. Right here. So we've got the Tucson Hebrew Academy. He was actually on this right through here. This is where the Israeli ambassador came to Arizona on the day that she goes missing. Here is, all of this is a Jewish school, school grounds right here. He came and he spoke at the Jewish Community Center here. He came to the Tucson Hebrew Academy, and let's just go down there. Because what you see is during the missing event, there's a teacher here. There's a teacher. And you can see that when I first created the map, I didn't know that this was here. I just put that on here not too long ago. Values oppose the teacher. The missing Venus conjunct Mercury is going northwest. It's going toward Carlotta's kitchen, where Savannah, Annie, and Nancy all ate at Carlotta's. That's where the Venus and Mercury is going. It's also going to her church. Okay. But there's an opposition here with a teacher. During the missing event, there's a teacher here at this Hebrew school. Okay. We've got nanos. Nanos, you know, that Chiron in Capricorn with the hair, with that lab, with Dr. Green, right? This is where there's a fate here with that. There is major challenges coming here with that hair follicle, with Dr. Green, with that lab. And so we're seeing the same thing. There's a lot of intensity. There's a lot of difficulties here with his reputation and with his work, with Nanos's work. Now, here's where it gets interesting. The FBI, they have their 11th house of groups, their friends. This is where there is a lot of disordered aggression when it comes to religion, when it comes to children, when it comes to the flame of life. And it should be pulling a school, and it is. It's pulling this school. You see, I've got schools, kids, attention. Yep. Then we got Annie. This is where there's a flame of life that is always reigniting with Annie, and she can't see it. It's something to do with immigration, international law. It's definitely about the school. And let me tell you something. This right here is important. Very important. This is where he came, and that's why it matters. Because he came to town the same very day that she goes missing. And you got to ask yourself why. All this is going on, you know, that blue and white, you know, Israel, the United States of Israel, that's what we're looking at. And there's something here. We know that Mike Feldman is Jewish. There is a big connection that they have with Israel, with Netanyahu, with Bibi. Major problems with this area right here with the Hebrew school. He came in through and he flew in into the Tucson airport. Right here. This airport is right by Raytheon. So we've got Raytheon 801. We got Raytheon building 847. Of course, all of this is a lot of military, right? This is the Tucson International Airport. This right here is her Neptune in Virgo. It's a 2941. It connects to Israel, Missouri, and Russia. It's pretty deep for her. And then we've got the FBI. The FBI, that 11th house is all about border patrol, government. It's investigative. And this is the Raytheon building 847. Unbelievable. This is where he flew in. And Kayla, you know, Kayla Day, that's been arrested, still sitting in jail. Kayla Day, friends with Luke Daly, the girlfriend of William Hubie, the absconder. This is where she meets the FBI. Y'all remember who Kayla Day is, right? So, yeah, I just wanted to come on here this morning because I thought that this was very interesting. And I will be getting some, you know, I'll be getting some things together to show you like different dates that y'all can, you know, write down and we can talk about them as they come. Because as these days passes by, we can look at what's happening in her case and how the astrology told us days before to pay attention, to pay attention. And this day today is a big day. It's a fated day. There's a lot of fate that's taking place with Ann Burnson or Brunson, Tomasso, Mike Feldman, Nancy Guthrie. They're all just, it's like culminating all day today. It's really cool to see how it's all working itself out. Oh, thank you, Georgia. Thank you, honey. I appreciate you guys. There have been reports of GPS interference around the South Tucson area near Davis Monthan. This usually happens when the military is running signal masking. Near Davis. Let me look at that. Hold on. Let me look at that. Let me see if I have that on the map yet. Right here? Oh, maybe I did already have it. Hold on. Let me see what I got here. Oh, okay. Yeah, I've talked about this. Okay. Hold on. I don't think that that's it. There's a visitor center. Which one is it, I wonder? Which one is it? I'm interested in this one right here. Look at that. Because that's the FBI. Aerospace Maintenance and Regeneration Group. I've got that here because I've ridden this line to look. Okay, let's check this out. FBI, fifth house outer wheel in Pisces and 11th outer wheel in Virgo. So this is a Virgo. See how it's coming down? That's a Virgo. Look at that. It's coming right over it, guys, with the FBI. Charity, healthcare, things that are related to health, which may be foggy with their investigations. Health access, things of the past. Huh. Oh, I've been talking about her, LOL bird. I've showed her on the map too while I've been live. I've been talking about her, girl. Oh, Georgia, welcome to the Watchers, honey. Welcome to the Watchers. Oh my goodness. Thank you, darling. Thank you for becoming a member, sweetheart. Look at you. Yeah, I showed Ann's chart. I showed her chart showing that she was in transit this morning with Nancy and with Tomasso. And I showed her kids on the map. Not her kids. I mean, I showed where her adult children live in San Antonio. Not like the address, but I showed, roundabout, and I showed the lines that are going over Ann's house because Ann is, I don't know, she's in transit today. So I wanted to talk about her. I wanted to show the map with it because it's pretty, the map don't lie. People don't lie, but the map's not going to lie to us. We may not, we may have difficulty trying to find Nancy, but it's just because the maps that I create, look, they're past, present, and future. If I were to do you a map, you don't have to be missing for you to have a map. It's expensive, but it's wild to see because you don't have to be missing. It's past, present, and future. So the lines are going to show where things are taking place in your life, where things have taken place in your life in the past, and where things are going to take place in your life in the future. It's wild to see. I've definitely mapped myself. So it's cool to see what line you live on. It's really cool to see that. So let me show you this now, guys. Let me show you. Let me go back to the map. All right. So the FBI, I had 309th aerospace. Now let's look at the other ones because I'm not sure which one. And if you could tell me, which one the Davis Monthan, the area that they are. I wonder if it's, let's see, I'm just going to mark them all. How about that? See, that one's not a hit, not yet anyway. I've got Davis. That's got to be it. This has got to be it though. This is where the Border Patrol is. So we've got the Border Patrol and then the entrance to the Air Force Base. And this is exactly where where the missing south node is going. So it's like, we've been here before. We've been here before. Kayla's right here. And this her Chiron in Virgo, it's like a 9-degree. Let me see where we're at right now. It's a 9-degree in Virgo. And right now we are at a 6. So it's already come over here. So this is a 9-degree Virgo that she has. The Neptune and Sag. So Tomasso there is a lot of magnetism with him that's going this way. We got Nancy. This is where her north node. So the north node is going here. The south node, the missing south node is going here. Her natal north node. There's a lot of fate, basically, is what this means, guys. There's just a lot of fate that's taking place here. Annie's got fate here. Annie's reaching her north node. Nancy's reaching. There's a lot of fate here. And we're going over Davis Month. I mean, we're going over a lot of places. I mean, before we ever get down here, but I'm just saying, there's a lot of fate that's taking place. And this is, interesting. Okay, here's another. Okay, so here's the Air Force Base. Again, we're right here. Yuma. Yeah, I've looked at all of these, all of this. Do what? What'd you say? Oh my gosh. Yeah. All right, guys. Okay, so Georgia, how can I send you a Venmo? Oh, that's sweet, Georgia. Oh, thank you, Jeff. Thank you, darling. Thank you, guys. Y'all are so sweet. Thank you, darling. Um, I wanted to see what he was saying. They are likely blanketing the area so that if the suspect tries to use a burner phone or a satellite uplink to contact their handlers, the drones at Fort Huachuca will instantly lock on. Interesting. I saw something about that dude that lived there. Let me show you that again because this trips me out. Let me show you this again because the 5920, I want you guys to help me out and see because I don't want to show it on, hold on, let me just, instead of doing that, let me just go back. I just got it. Let me go back here. I know it's ridiculous how many addresses I've got now. Hold on. Let's see. Okay, here we go. So if Nancy used to live here at 5920, oh, I see where you added me as a friend. Somebody just added me as a friend. I'm pretty sure that that's you, Georgia. Did you just add me as a friend on, did you add me as a friend on Venmo? Thank you. I think you just added me as a friend. Um, Barb, where are y'all going? Oh, okay. Okay. What does in transit and fate mean? Okay, let me show you what a transit means. Let me show you what a transit means. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this, honey.
It's when it goes from your left hand to your right hand.
Okay, cool. I did not get a Venmo, babe, but I did get your friend request. Okay, watch this. This is what transit means. All right, you see, it's like a clock. Okay, it's transiting. Oh shit, what was that? Okay, yeah. I got your Venmo. I got your Venmo. Thank you so much. That was so generous. Thank you so much, Georgia. Thank you, darling. This is a transit. So we've got 411. It's about to be 412, but you can see 41156, 41157, 41158. This is a transit. It's transiting. What you have on your wall, maybe, I don't know. I'm still, I'm older. I still have a, just shut up, Seth. I'm older. So I still have,
I'm older. Yeah.
I still have a wall clock. And so your wall clock or even a clock, this is the time is ticking. Oh, there's Trump. Ah, there's Trump. We just saw him. It was also North Carolina. We just saw it. Oh, I see. I just saw Tennessee. Okay. Anyway, this is a clock and it's transiting. And as it's transiting, I can see that there's things going on in Virginia. I am looking at degrees and charts. I can see that there's things going on in New Jersey. The dark moon has just went over the, yeah. Oh, Steve Fisher, investigator. You got issues going on here. But anyway, this is a transit and I'm just looking at it as a clock and I'm connecting with it. I'm connecting degrees because degrees in our chart, degrees in this chart, it literally matters in the state of matter. And so all we've got to do is just look at the different states, look at different people, and then we start seeing a pattern that forms. So the pattern, right? This pattern that will form, it's having to do with numbers. It has to do with the degrees in our chart. And as these patterns form, we just start to see things. It's like, okay, all right, I've seen that before. Oh, it was in that chart. Oh, wow, this person must connect with that. So over the years, I've learned that as I'm reading a chart and looking at the transiting degrees, I'm like, this person, and then I ask them and they confirm, yeah, you're right, Jen. How'd you know? I didn't know. I'm learning. So that's how I've learned astrology, You are so sweet. Thank you for that generous $50, honey. That was very sweet. Thank you so much, Georgia. Thank you for becoming a member. We really appreciate that. Really appreciate it. I mean, a lot of times I'll read charts on here. I'll do live readings or something like that. Right, Barb? Barbara and her husband came up on a panel one night. We had a good time that night. But yeah, I mean, the transits, that's what that means. It's just a clock that's constantly ticking and it'll transit. Something will transit. So that means that Jupiter just transited at that 1720 degree that it was when Nancy went missing. As soon as she got home, Jupiter was at a 1720 in Cancer. It was in retrograde. What does retrograde mean? Well, I figured this out. Let me show you something. It's even cooler when you look at it this way because I think astrologers may not have they may not even know that it could mean this, but watch this. Look at that. A retrograde. What does that remind you of when you see this? What does that RX remind you of? What does that remind you of? That RX. We can see that, gosh, this whole entire chart is moving forward, but Cupid is in retrograde we've got the lunar nodes in retrograde and trans Pluto in retrograde, but everything else is moving forward. Oh my gosh. And the transiting Vulcanus at a 352 in Leo is at a station. This retrograde, what does that remind you of? Oh, we've also got these. Okay. What's that remind you of, guys? The RX. A physician? I like it. Yep. Physician, medicine, prescription. So a retrograde, we are going back into the past. We got to rework. We got to rework it. There is more to learn. There is more enlightenment to be had. And a physician, when they come into the room, they bring you enlightenment. They enlighten you about your health. So there's things that when Nancy went missing, she was dropped off allegedly, right? Allegedly, she was dropped off. She goes into the garage. She's at home. Jupiter is expanding in retrograde. It's about things with her home and family about the past. And the physician is bringing enlightenment to her and to her family. That's what Jupiter in retrograde meant for Nancy that fateful evening when she got home. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, thanks. Hope floats. Hey, Mr. Mackey, more distractions. More distractions. It's open, then it's closed. Then it's open, then it's closed. And it's open, it's closed. We just don't know what's going on. We just don't know. They're keeping us dumbed down and confused. Absolutely. So when we go back, let's go back to the map. Let me show you this. Let's talk about this one more time. Because Nancy, in public records, she's got an address, an old address of 5920, not 5820, 5920. And so this is Mara Daly. I can't find any information about her, but I did find her her birthday. I did find her birthday. Let me show that to you. I don't know, I don't know where she was born. I don't know what time she was born, right? I don't know any of that. Hold on. Don't know any of that. Oh yeah, I can't wait for you to visit my stand store. And thank you, Jeff, for linking that. This is her chart. And I found it really interesting because Kayla Day, who who's in jail, Kayla Day, she has a 913 in her chart, and so does her boyfriend. And so I thought that was very interesting because if I'm going to blame somebody, I'm going to go to the past offenders. I'm going to go to past offenders. I'm going to look at. I'm about to wrap it up.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I am.
I don't believe that for one moment.
Y'all say hi to Seth. Y'all say hi to Seth.
They already did in chat.
Oh, you want to get on here?
No.
Come on.
Hi.
Won't your mama let you?
Bye.
He's like, I'm getting out of here before Jennifer gets me in trouble. Jennifer's going to get me in trouble.
Mouth gets me in trouble.
Well, yeah, that's true.
I accept my shortcomings in life, okay? I'm short, and I don't give a fuck.
His shortcomings. He said he don't want to get up here because he knows his mouth will get him in trouble. I did find Refresh Calvary too, girl. Yes, I did. I sure did. I'm on it. I'm an investigator. I love to investigate with astrology. I just do. I absolutely do. The thing about Mara, her chart, I can't find anything on her. I can't find, and I'm not gonna pay a public, I'm not gonna pay a website, but I can't find anything on this chick. This, and if you're wondering who is she, okay, let me just remind you one more time because you may have gotten distracted with Seth coming in here. This is who allegedly lives here, where Nancy used to live, where Nancy used to live. And I'm finding this very interesting because she's going through a Uranus return. And this is where her Uranus return is taking place, going this way with these neighbors, with the little shaky shake, with the shake up, with values, a shake up. And this Uranus and Taurus is also that's where the missing Uranus and Taurus is. Of course, Uranus is conjuncting because she's going through a Uranus return. So this is absolutely phenomenal. I've never searched for anybody that's going through their Uranus return. This is my first. And if I have, I didn't realize it. So this is my first, which is really cool. What are y'all cooking? What are we cooking? What'd you bring, Seth?
What?
What'd you bring? Jill's wanting to know what you brought for supper.
Personality?
Oh my gosh, he's not going to tell me. As he's in there laughing, talking about his personality, that's what he brought. Um, he said nobody was laughing till I showed up. So I'm wondering what's behind here at this house. Like, is that what is this? What is this behind the house? But anyway, yeah, he's not telling me, Jill. He's being a turd. But and he keeps making me lose my train of thought here. This is what I wanted to show you. I don't know what time she's born. Yeah, I was hoping that we were making stuffed peppers too, Barb. What else did he bring though, Jeff? Did he bring jalapenos or no? Ooh, 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 2716. So yeah, I'm gonna be looking at this chart, guys. I'm gonna be looking at it, and I think we need to be talking about it. And I don't want to be like getting her. I'm not saying that she did anything. It's just that when we look at people's charts that could have something to do, and maybe she doesn't know. Maybe she doesn't even know who Nancy is. I'm pretty sure she does. We probably seen her on JLR. You know, if the truth be told, if the truth be told. Okay, give us some clues. Definitely give us some clues. She was born in 1956. Let's look at some of this, see if she has anything I can tell because I really literally just pulled it up. Her dark moon is definitely going to well, I don't know exactly where it's going because I don't know the exact degree, but I do know that her physician is connected to the United States of America. I do wonder about her nationality, like Mara Daly. Is she American? Is she what nationality she is? I'm curious about that. Saturn will be coming here. It hasn't gotten here yet. Okay, let's look at Edwin because Edwin also used to live there. He's of course deceased. He was born in 1926. Like I said, he's deceased, but he did work for some prominent warring type of companies. And I can already tell that he's got a relationship in Texas with it. I don't know who wrote to JLR. No jalapenos. Oh, okay. I don't know why they would post that on Refresh Calvary. That was weird. That was very weird. And his name is Matt. Name is Matt. Thought that was weird too. What I found really interesting with Edwin is no matter what time he's born, no matter what time he's born, he connects with Oklahoma and California. And what I thought was very, very interesting is this. Okay, this 342. Watch this. When Nancy goes missing. Where's that at? Where's she at? She goes missing right here. Okay. This is when at 10 p.m. that I've mapped Nancy. I map her at 10 p.m. because this is the last time she was seen. I want to see exactly when the last time she's seen. They said between 9:45 and 10 is when she was dropped off in the very beginning. Okay. Well, this chart was showing a conjunction, and I was telling, I think I was on live. I was on live, and I was wanting us to watch this. I was talking about another case, and it happened to do with California, and this was an exact time that I had that I was watching, and this is the exact time that Nancy goes missing. And as you can see, this is a huge conjunction. We've got Astraea, who is the divine justice of health. We have Pluto, and then we have Mars. The north node, the north node of fate with Savannah Guthrie is this degree, and it's coming in the future. There is a vehicle. There is a lot of warring that's taking place at her mother's home. You see, so that 342 with Edwin was coming into transit, and he's deceased. He's been dead since 2015, but I don't know his family. I don't know if Edwin and Mara are connected family wise. I think that they are, but I don't remember. I don't remember. So that 342 with Edwin, when I pulled his chart up, I was just tripping the hell out because he he has that as his physician. I've not seen the pictures. Well, I think that there were some pictures online of her birthday. And the other thing too is that Edwin and Tomasso have an opposition in their chart. There's a lot of things with Edwin and what he did for a living in Virginia. And I want to show you that. What he did for a living in Virginia. Preston, Virginia. Oh, where is it? Hold on. Hold on. Right here. This is no, that's Texas. Hold on. That's one of the other ones in Texas. They've got different places, but that one, hold on. Where did I put it? Where'd I put it? Hold on. It's in Virginia. It's right here. No. Dang, where was it? There it is. There it is, where Edwin worked, is right here. Right by the Poseidon in Virgo that's squaring the Hygeia again. This is where Edwin worked here in Virginia. And it's a company that deals with, it's Bechtel Corporation. Let me show that to you again. This was a neighbor, and I don't know if like I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that one out. It's a premier global engineering, procurement, construction, and project management company headquartered in Reston, Virginia, founded in 1888. It specializes with complex infrastructure, energy, nuclear, and defense projects. So Edwin and his family, Edwin Bruck. I can't show you the public records, but you can look it up. You can look it up and you can try to see if, when it sold and all of that and who Mara is, because I don't know who Mara is. I've not, she is allegedly an owner now, but I can't, I don't know. And her last name is, she does have a Brown, like Mara Brown. Mara Brown. Mara Brown Daly. Mara Daly Brown, but her middle name is Andrea. So we've got Mara Daly, not to be confused with, the Luke Daly. His last name is spelled with Daley. Did I check out the link you sent? I don't think so. Not if I've been live. Marie Daly, but that's not her. I do see this right here, but that's not it. That's not her. I don't find anything. We got the Mary Daly, but that's not Mara. So I haven't been able to find anything about her. I don't see it. Nothing. After retiring to Tucson, maybe this is something about her. Hold on. Let me see if any of this is her. I don't see anything like that. I don't. So if you guys can find anything, y'all let me know. Let me know if you can find anything at all about her.
That's what I said.
Distributed child rape images almost
Oh gosh.
every
Okay.
one of those red dot maps is a unique IP address that is downloaded,
God.
shared, or distributing child rape images, almost all under the age of
Damn.
And that's just a 6-month screenshot
No,
of
look.
it. There are over 300.
Is it about Nancy?
No.
Oh.
You can't really
That's
see
the dogs.
the blue ones are the
Oh.
ones that are under investigation.
Not the
Oh,
red ones,
Jesus.
just the blue ones.
Wow. That's crazy.
That's what I sent you earlier.
That is crazy.
Because that's all I care about, kids.
I know.
You're over a certain age, and I'm named Jeff,
I just can't. So y'all, let me know. Let me know your thoughts about this property that has been, allegedly, this is where she's lived before. And she's also lived in California. Nancy's past address is also here in California. Right here in California on public records. Again, we got William. William keeps on pulling all kinds of places. All kind of places, guys. Yeah, it is weird. I think that there's a lot of weirdness that's going on with this case, and there is, um, I don't know, I don't remember who that was, but I need to mark them. There's a lot of weirdness and a lot of connections with that house. So I don't know. It's like he died in 2015. He was much older than Nancy Guthrie, but I don't know if he would have had, grown kids living there. We just don't know. There's a lot that we just don't know. So I wanted to let you guys know that I'm working on this map like crazy. And as as these transits, and again, what is a transit? The transit is this right here. When I tell you that Mike Feldman is in transit, he's been in transit for the last 48 hours. And this 401 is connecting to his family, his home, a lot of emotion, a loyalty. Okay. And this energy right here is a transit, it's transiting. Some go quickly, like the ascendant is transiting at a 2511. Now it's a 2512. We're rising with that 2512. That's the FBI. We were talking about that 2512. And see, I've memorized it already. The Pluto of the FBI is a 2512. So they're Pluto. There's a lot of leadership that is coming with the FBI exactly right now. But there's things of the past, okay? There's things of the past because this 12th house is about things of the past. And it's the past with Mike Feldman and his family, his home, and his mother-in-law. Mercury is now transiting at a 5:30 in Aries, and that is Ghislaine Maxwell. That is Ghislaine Maxwell. So the media is talking about Ghislaine Maxwell. There is a piece being written about her. People are talking about her, which, we're talking about her a lot, but she is definitely holding that 5:30 is her outer wheel. So she's definitely in transit right now with the FBI on Nancy's case. Lunar nodes of fate now is at a 627, so it's moved off of the 628 that Nancy, Ann Burnson, and Tomasso have that they share with Texas and New Mexico. So interesting, guys. I just wanted to come on for a little while, let you know I'm working it, show you what's in transit, and let you know that 1720, now it's at a 1723, and it's moving forward. So what that means is that when Nancy went missing, this is how we can really take this and show something a little bit more. So when she went missing, Jupiter was at a 1720, but it was in retrograde. Okay, so it had already been right now, Jupiter is at a 1723. Well, Jupiter, we should look at Ann's chart. Jupiter was at a 1723 hours before, like 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours before Nancy ever made it home. So Jupiter is now going forward. But when Nancy went missing, Jupiter in Cancer was in retrograde. So everything, all the steps, everything that she did is now being looked at by the law enforcement. And that Jupiter in retrograde is now moving forward and going, okay, all that stuff that happened in the past, we are expanding, we are learning. Jupiter is about the law, it's about contracts. Jupiter it rules Sagittarius. Sagittarius is about immigration. It's about international. We're going far. It could have to do with the river. It could have to do with attorneys and judges. And we know that Savannah's an attorney. We know that Alan Dershowitz, he's an attorney. We got attorneys. And Nancy has a law firm, an attorney, a law firm out of Indiana on her public records with an email address. Make it make sense. It doesn't. So that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. Because this stuff is just, it's fascinating. So now we're seeing the 1723. And let me go back to, where's Miss Thing? There's the sister. There's her kids. There, let's see. Let me go back to Ann, Nancy's friend. Somebody that I was looking at prior to getting on live has that 1723 in their chart. So, like, look, she goes missing at 1720. It's at a 1720 degree. Oh, shoot. Hold on. So where Jupiter is at right now, this is so interesting to me. Where Jupiter is at right now at a 1723. That's where Jupiter was right here in the 5th house of kids. And it was at 9 a.m. So 9 a.m. prior to her going missing, there's an expansion with that 1723. And look at that. Holy, look at that, guys. There's the 628. There's the 628. When I tell you that a pattern will constantly show up, this is Tomasso. This is Ann. That is Nancy. We are driving. There is a future that is coming into play with the vehicle, with a car, with movement, with an airplane, with an airplane. But see how the patterns are just going to continuously show up? Yeah. Now, the other thing that's very interesting indeed is look at this. Oh my gosh. Y'all, look at this. Look at this. Let me show you Nancy's chart. You're not going to believe it because this is why I love astrology because I'm not even believing it either. I'm just like over here grinning from ear to ear. It's like permagrin. I can't stop. I need to stop, but I can't. Watch this. Watch this. Okay, so the 628 is Nancy. It's her friend Ann, and it's Tomasso. It's New Mexico and it's Texas, right? Okay, so the 628, right? There it is in her chart. We're making contact. There's an activation. Now watch this. Watch. There's a lot of energy that's going with Miss Nancy. And guess what? No matter what time she's born, it's a 1510. That's a non-mover. That's admetos. But admetos means that there's a breakup. There's some serious stuff going down with Miss Nancy, with Nance. And there is a breakup. There's a lot of warring with this. She could have a headache. You know, she could have a migraine. I don't think so. I think that there's something that is going on. Is she taking an Uber? It's 9 o'clock in the morning. Where is she at? Where is Nancy at 9 o'clock? This is important. To me, it is. Where's she at? This is January 31st, 2026, 9 a.m. Tucson, Arizona. Tucson, Arizona. Hey, Janet. Good to see you, honey. It is fascinating, Georgia. Oh my God, it is so fascinating. So exciting. So this is going to be a chart that I'm going to look at because I did notice that 723 earlier, or the 1723 earlier, and see we're reflecting here. Jupiter is the moon has just come over Jupiter, but they're in conversation. So Jupiter expands anything it touches. So we are going back into the past with kids, with home, with family. Somebody used to live here. Interesting. And it looks like Annie is learning something. And I say that because the 2351, that's her. That's Annie. Here's Saturn. Saturn's at a 2836. And who is that? Now watch this. The absconder that I've been looking at, William Hubie, that I'm thinking that if there was a contract, I don't know, I'm still looking at him. But look, he's got the 1510 in his chart too. This is where there's a lot of warring with him, with that 1510. So I do, go back and forth and look at him. Now, if I wanted to see if there was any type of contract, I would take Jupiter and I would go back to 1735. I would take it back and see what it would look like if Nancy's showing up with him and 2 people. Let's just do that. Let's just go ahead and put that curiosity out. Let's just put that curiosity out. Let's take it back. I think I've already looked at this, but I'm gonna look at it again. Okay. 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 Watch this. So Mars, this is going to be, and let me tell you about this transit right here when it comes to Aquarius. This is what I've noticed. This is what I've taught myself. And I'd like to tell you what I've learned here with the Aquarius energy. This is Savannah. No matter what time Savannah's born, she has a 504 in her chart. It's where there's a lot of emotion with her mom, with home and family and her roots. So, because Mars here in the 8th house, because Mars is in Aquarius, all this Aquarius energy could come in the future. So it could come in the future. Like it could be instead of it hitting right at 504, it may express itself with her at like 505, 506. It may come in the future. So this is her. The 350 is Tennessee, and the 347 the 337 is Texas. I've showed you guys this. It's a pattern that shows up. Texas and New Mexico. That's the 337. It could be another state. Jupiter is at a 1736. Now, it's about to be at the 1735. Here it is, 1735. And it's in the house, it's in the second house. So this is about money. There's an expansion with 2 people and money. And this would be at 2:23 p.m. Arizona time at January 29th. That would be on a Thursday. And this is about values, it's about money. This 440 is well, it goes back to it goes back to let me just show you. Let me just show you. Let me show you the Virgin Islands. Now, the Witness Protection Program and the Virgin Islands have the 440 in their chart. Virgin Islands and the Witness Protection Program has the 440. And of course, Virgin Islands at the 440, there was an opposition that was taking place. There's an opposition that is taking place with the Virgin Islands, with the Department of Justice, because this is the DOJ, this is the justice. Jupiter, like I said, it's about the law, it's about attorneys and judges. So the dark moon had already went over that 440 when that 1723 was here in the 5th house of kids, with the 628 with her and Tomasso. You see, the pattern is just going to remain the same. We're just going to keep seeing the same patterns. We're going to continuously see Virgin Islands. We're going to see the Witness Protection Program. We're going to see Epstein. We're going to see Alan Dershowitz. We're going to see Savannah and all the Epstein drama. That's the pattern. That is literally the pattern that I'm consistently seeing. And so if it's a pattern that I'm consistently seeing, then why would I ignore that? During this period of time, the other thing that was consistent that was going on that Nancy was talking about with her family was ICE agents being in Minnesota. Remember ICE agents? Remember what had happened? I want you to, y'all might not remember, but I want you to remember that not only when Nancy went missing was was there the Epstein files dropping 3 million documents. The Israeli ambassador comes into Arizona. Alex Preddy had just been gunned down in Minnesota. And guess who was vocal about that? Nancy. Nancy was. Nancy was very vocal on her Facebook. They've got it pretty much privatized now, but when she first went missing, I looked all in her Facebook. I wanted to know who Nancy Guthrie is. And yeah, I mean, and Epstein, we don't even know. Look, you can't, if you hold him up to such a high, everybody's going to him. Bill Gates is trying to get a loan from him. Epstein may not be dead. And his boo thing, Ghislaine, may not be in jail. He sure was. Yeah. I saw that chart the night before. That was crazy. And I've got a witness with that. Shauna, she's not here, but I've got a witness with that because I was talking to her about it the night before. And I didn't know who Charlie Kirk was. I just knew that it was going to be some intense stuff that we were going to learn. And it was very intense. And it was definitely having everything to do with Elon Musk, with Epstein, with Ghislaine. They were all showing up in the chart. Netanyahu was showing up in the chart. So, Net, BB. And Helen Dershowitz loves him some BB. No, he's not. I just don't think so. I've looked at it, and I just don't think he is. I don't think he is. I think that he loves Israel so much. That's where he should be. That's where he should be. Because that's not they were mad. It's a revenge. You hurt me, I'm going to hurt you. Why? If you want to hurt Savannah, if you want to hurt any of them, if you want to hurt Savannah, take her mama. And we don't look, when it's all said and done, we don't know that there isn't even a crime at Nancy's house. She could have easily bumped her blue and black arm. We see it in pictures. She could have easily bumped it going out the door, and she could be totally alive. And this could be just another distraction that she is taking part in. We don't know. We don't know that there was a crime. Yeah, it was definitely a revenge. Nothing having to do with absolutely not. I just don't think it is. Maybe I'll change my mind. I'm open to changing my mind, but I haven't seen it yet. I try to look at it from all angles, and I just can't. I'm always coming back to Epstein because I'm an astrologer, and that's what I'm looking at is the investigative side using the tool of astrology. So if I'm doing that and I'm constantly seeing these patterns, I can't deny what I'm seeing. You see what I'm saying? I just can't deny it. And I know that Epstein, he didn't get taken out. I don't trust the FBI. I think that this DNA the FBI going to save the day. They're going to blame it on somebody that had nothing to do with it, just like the Charlie Kirk situation. The people that really had to do with Charlie Kirk, they're not behind bars. They're never going to be behind bars. Okay? People like them don't go to jail. They don't go to jail. You think that the biggest dude that everybody that has blackmail on everybody is going to go to jail. No. That's like people believing that Osama bin Laden, was the big mastermind behind 9/11. Like his family was flown out immediately. Like they kidnapped him. They captured him and then they threw him in the ocean. Like people really believe that. As far as we know. Yes, Janet, as far as we know, as far as I know, he's still MIA. He is still an absconder. Yeah. It's crazy to me too that everybody and their mamas will talk about Kayla and Luke and never mention William. They've never mentioned him. I still have yet to hear anybody mention William. Like, what is going on here? I feel like I'm in the twilight zone. Like, why is nobody talking about William? He's the one that I would want to be talking about or talking to for sure. If I was an investigator, where is he? I want to know everything about him. And I tried to learn everything I could about him. We are living in yep. That's it. That's it. I don't know about that. But there is so much more that we could be seeing. There's so much more that I could be talking about. I could talk about this with y'all all night long. I could. It's so exciting to me to look at it from the map, from the astrology and look at the map. And I'm just like, okay, this is coming. Okay, if this is coming, this 17-degree, look, the 17-degree that William Hubie has goes to Quantico. That 17-degree in Gemini that William has in Gemini, it goes to Quantico. It's the line with the FBI that's going all the way to Quantico. I think so. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. He was the one. I think if we're talking about, if you're thinking about the same William, he's the one that he was sentenced to prison time, 11 years, because he had transported 2 illegals over the border and the cops were behind him and he fled. He got into a head-on collision and that collision it was an 84-year-old woman got shaken up with that Uranus return by William. And she passed. Her daughter severely injured. The 2 illegal, they were severely injured. William was injured. He ended up doing prison time. So they go to Luke's house, but before they go to Luke's house, before they get Luke and interrogate him, they lock Kayla up. Kayla and Luke were at the Walmart. They got in trouble. Luke was going to his court dates. She wasn't. So she had a warrant. They picked her up, put her in jail, and they went and got Luke. But nobody is talking about her boyfriend. Everybody was assuming that her boyfriend was Luke Daly. It's not Luke Daly. It's William Hubie, an older dude, a Hell's Angels dude, tatted all the way up. Dude has lived in Arizona, had mining. His dad was all into the mining or wanted to. They wanted to. I'm telling you, there's a lot more to this case. And William, if more people would talk about William, but nobody. I just don't get it. But that 17-degree that he has, that is coming into transit with the FBI too, that 17-degree. It's going all the way to Quantico. So this will be interesting to see if they pin it on William, if they pin it on, because if there was a contract and it involved Kayla, it's definitely going to involve William. Or it could be that William and Kayla just decided that they wanted to go and take her. I don't, and it just so happened to coincide with everything else that was going on with Nancy's life, with the Epstein files, It's crazy. Exactly. And what better way to get to Savannah to shut her up? Oh, Trump is definitely not innocent. Definitely not innocent. And I'm not a Democrat or a Republican. I'm just saying they're all shitty. They all suck. They all are. If they're a politician, they're lying. And the lobbyists are Israeli backed. It's Israeli money. I don't know why they're not saying anything about him. And girl, so I don't know if how long you've been following me with this map, but let me show you this. Let me show you where Kayla, where she hung upside down on the cross. This is where I was trying to get that dude Jim. He went there, but he didn't go to where I wanted him to go. Um, Let me pull up these addresses again. But this is where she was hanging upside down on a cross, that girl that you just can't wait for your kids to meet. It's right through here. There's old Tucson. Where was that? There it is. There it is. Look at this one. This is where Kayla was hanging upside down on a cross. Like literally, when I tell you that this is the exact place, this is the exact place she was hanging upside down on a cross. She took a picture, posted it, deleted all of her photos, but before she did, I got this photo. And this is the exact place that it was hanging. This is Diablo. Yep. El Rancho Diablo. And look at that. The Jupiter in Cancer is in a good standing with a lot of wisdom about other people's money, hidden sex. It's coming here. Okay. She is a tattoo artist. She's a piercing artist. Okay. So that's where Jim went. But see, Jim would have had to have gone this way because this is where Arizona, the justice with a relationship, the FBI, Luke, and William, they're all here. They're all here. But this is where we would find Nancy. If she was anywhere here, this is where it would be. Right through here. Isn't that a trip? Because literally right there, like that's exactly where she was. Isn't that interesting? That's why I always say that the maps don't lie. People can lie, but the maps aren't going to lie. It's just, you just got to pay attention. You got to follow the map. And most of the time, I'm just, I'm working the map. I'm working it, but I don't have the information that the law enforcement knows. So if I did, we could probably, solve cases together, but we don't. So we're not. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me. It's been 3 hours and I'm going to jump off here. I will definitely, I'll try to make some shorts off of this live so I can remind myself and remind you guys everything that I talked about, because I know I just go through all kinds of stuff and it's hard to keep up with unless you're writing it all down. But I mean, at least it's recorded, right? Yeah, Kayla line on Kayla at Diablo blew my mind. The accuracy. It is. It is so accurate. It is so accurate. I am the only And I don't understand why more people don't talk about him. It blows my mind. Blows my mind. They all are a mafia organization. They are the biggest cartel. They're the biggest cartel, period. Thank you for being here and listening. I appreciate it. Time is energy, and y'all could be doing anything else, but you're hanging out, listening to me, and doing my thing. And it's hard work, that's for sure. It takes a lot of time, a lot of energy, but man, it's fascinating, and I can't stop doing it. I wake up thinking about it. I go to sleep thinking about it. All the different cases that I'm working on. But anyway, I just love you guys. Thank you, Jill. Thank you, babe. Yes, extremely interesting. Thank you, Dinah, for your donation too, babe. I appreciate you guys that donate to the cause, the starving artists over here. So appreciate you. And I don't forget it. I don't, I I just really appreciate you guys. I really do. Okay, cool, Georgia. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. I will be talking to you soon. Sooner than later. Just never know. Peace out.